my name's KiahOnARK and welcome to a base locations video on Extinction. Today I'll be showing off 20 desert dome spots. At number 1 we have one of my favourite spots on the list being this lovely well-rounded desert plateau. It has 2 ramps up to it and a great natural protection from dinosaurs as it's elevated. You can fit a very large PvE style base here and reap the benefits of being near the desert cave for loot. You can find this wonderful location at 8869 in the desert dome. This next location is a bit more dynamic, meaning a lot of this top plateau would be pretty much suitable for basing up. However, I chose not to go into the metal building though, as it has metal and crystal nodes inside. Great views from this high up in this location, and if you'd like to snag it for yourself, it can be found at 9279 on the southern side of the dome. This waterfall's base location is honestly breathtaking. It's got to be one of the most beautiful places you can pitch a base at on Extinction. I'd be inspired to build something in the midsection of the waterfall, but there are 2 decently flat side pieces to the waterfall if that isn't your style. Gorgeous location. If you'd like to find this one, it is at 8385 in the middle of the desert canyons. I really like this next spot as I feel like you could build something really cool and unique up by this archway or on the top. This is the archway location. It is a massive spot to put a big base with an epic piece of landscape art in the middle. It's near a river as well, which is always nice, and you can find a few metal nodes in the area. If you'd like this one, you can find it nice and easy at 6787. At base location number 5, we have this huge metal ruin. The insides of these are never flat, but I feel like this one in particular has to be the best potential for a base to be built within. You could have a nice little starter up on the higher part of this ruin and then later on expand into the rest of it, or you can actually build on top of the metal parts, which is really cool. You can't miss this one flying around. Find it at 8695 on the eastern side. I'm not done with waterfalls yet. If the previous one was taken, perhaps try this waterfall spot at number 6 instead. It has a higher up medium-sized plateau you could pop your base on, and then you have such a beautiful area around you to enjoy. There's crystal and metal nearby, as well as a pathway up into the mountains, so that's always a plus. If you like this location, it is at 8586, a nice and easy set of chords to remember. The Scorched Dome has quite a few elevations, and if you fancy the high life, this one might be the one for you. It's got stunning views of the canyons and makes for a great diving platform. You could fit a pretty sizable base up here. You just want to make sure to put down fences or something like that to stop your Rexes going for a skydive. Great spot, and you can find this one at 8479 on the map. This next location I think would work really great as a cliff platform style retreat. I feel like someone could build something really cool on this spot as it has a unique cliff layout. It's nearby a river with a bunch of trees to use for building and has wonderful views all times of day. You're near quite a bit of metal as well, living up on the corner of the dome, and not too far from a ramp up and down. If you like this location, you can find it at 8088 on the map. I couldn't do a dome base location video without doing one of these border spots. I will give you a heads up though, the back of these mark the outside of the dome, so the front is where you want to build on them. Out of all of them, I chose this one in particular because I noticed it was very near a nice variety of resources. Being obsidian, metal and crystal, those are very close by. And you'll be able to see it's up by the map border, symbolized by those red lights, meaning there's not much, if any, wastelands behind the dome, so you're not going to get pestered by corrupt dinosaurs. If you like this place, find it at 9097 on the eastern side. At number 10, we have another really strong plateau base. I love these suckers as it makes for easy defense. This one is near the desert cave and is on a pathway down to the desert lake area. You get a big chunk of space up here, nearby crystal, and it honestly feels like it's a really well-rounded spot in general. If this one appeals to you, find it at 8773 in the desert dome. Next up, I have a multi-tiered base. Live up on top or live down the bottom of it. Or maybe just take both. It's completely up to you. It's very spacious, it's not too far up from my previous location, but I really like this one as it feels ideal for a base location. With the bottom part being perfect for breeding big dinosaurs, you're on the midsection of a ramp to the top and the bottom of the biome as well, which is really handy. Find this awesome base spot at 8574 on the map. At number 12 we have a greener base location next to the lakeside. I love the greenery in this desert dome, but I realized a lot of it is unbuildable for some reason on the other side. Thankfully you can still snag this spot, as it showed up all in green around here for me when I checked it with the foundation, which I guess makes for an easy meat farm as you'll lack a lot of neighbours, and a beautiful tropical spot in this calm, serene location, found at 8079. Ever fancied living next to a giant dinosaur rib cage? Well, this spot has you covered. It's in the northern side of the dome, meaning it's not too far from the action in the city. It's a nice flat plateau spot near the river running down into the canyons, with decent amounts of resources nearby. Another one of my favourite locations on the list, honestly, because it is incredibly well rounded for a base location. You can find this bony place at 6882 on the map. Going up high again, we have this desert view long plateau area. It's got nice defense against the crazy fun desert dinosaurs in the northern section, and a ramp up to the location itself. It would make for a great base location, where you could see quite a few nice tames closer to home and be near the wastelands for some OSD action. Find this long boy spot at 7874 on the northern mid-side. At number 15, I have you a border close location that is made for basing at. Look how flat that sucker is. My only complaint is the amount of morella tops that love it too. This place is not too far from the previous location I have shown off, but it's a bit bigger than the other one with a slightly different aesthetic going on. Loads of space for a big base, and if it appeals to you, you can find it at 6880. Going to the other side of the river in the northeast, we have this huge high up cliff space. It does have some crystal and metal nodes just below it on the pathway up to it. There's a great amount of room for a good base spot up here. Hopefully the foundations throughout the video give you a good idea of how much space in general that you'll get with these locations. But I like this one, lots of lovely views all around. Find it at easy to remember 7788 on the map. For number 17, I have picked a really long one, but it's in the resourceful southern section of the map, near the Golden Arches, and we're not talking about the fast food kind. Loads of trees in the area, but it's really safe, and I thought it would be a unique style base location. I can imagine a big row of desert houses along the strip of it. It's in the quieter side of the mountains. Find it at 9291 on the map in the south. Next spot is in a peaceful green area that is nicely tucked into one of the canyon's corners. This place caught my eye as it's near one of the big beautiful waterfalls, and I wanted more grassy locations to be included in this video, as these areas are just so damn pretty. I feel like you could build a very cozy base here. You might need a few extra spike walls up top, but apart from that, it's got plenty of water and an access route to the top half of the dome. Find this tranquil location at 8291 on the map. In between two railways down to the canyons, you can find this nice cliffy place to stake your base at. It's a very wide area to build your humble house at. Lots of cactus sap nearby, and it's a nice transition spot between the sandier desert part of the dome and the greener part. It's a bit on the lumpier side, but generally quite flat, and would work out nicely with some foundations laid on top. That, and it's not too far from some OSD wasteland action. If you like the look of this large and in-charge spot, find it at 8270 on the map. Finally, at number 20, we have my final base location of the video, settled in a bone-filled paradise in the northwest sector of the Desert Dome. I wanted to find a location on the safer side with the perks of being up in the north, meaning you're closer to the city. It's a good size for a base and has a bit of natural defense. There is also quite a bit of metal just off the near border right here, so if you like the look of this one, find it at 7371 on the map. And that's all 20 of my Extinction Desert Dome base locations. If you'd like to see 20 city base locations, check the video in the end cards or in the top right video card. And subscribe for more ARK content and guides. Let me know if you end up picking one of these locations or if you already have based at one of these. But either way, thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!